Okay, I'm Andy Lee Graham, and I've lived in 100 plus countries for 25 plus years, and I sojourn in these countries. But today, one of my Google alerts, which is a way to have like a search term, like I have microplastics, and the term came up, and a link came up that there was a new documentary film or something like that. The name of it is "We're All Plastic People Now." We're all plastic people now, and I want to recommend this. And I've got the link, and I'll put it in the link in the description of this. It's a little difficult to find. You kind of can find trailers, you can find pages about it, you can see where they're in this video, like these um, video movie things, like the where they celebrate the new videos. Um, but hard to find a video. But I found it finally. It's on PBS, and I'll put it in the description as a first link. Okay, I'll put it in as a first link so you can do it. So as a review of this, it was like a 55-minute documentary, quite good. It had music in the background, quite, mostly to elicit emotion. But there's a huge plastic problem on the planet. Okay, and it's only been really for probably the last 50 years. And what they go into is a lot of different things. The major problems that they're pointing out in the documentary, or I don't know, film, or basically whatever. Okay, I'm not going to say it, is that the plastics is causing obesity. Okay, and they actually showed where they took like a mouse or rat and made it fat by having too much plastic enter its body. It's also lowering the sperm count, and it's an endocrine disruptor, which is something to do with your hormones. Okay, but what they did also is they showed that they took a family of four people, and they showed that they had 80 different chemicals, not chemicals, 80 different plastics or chemicals in their body. And I'm going to talk about this because what is happening right now, because of the food industry, the thing, they've been talking about this for years. But there's plastic entering our body at every different level. Okay, and I'm going to talk about some solutions, but I want you to go watch this this documentary and forward it to your friends and things like that. It's called, again, "We Are All Plastic People." Okay, and it isn't necessarily giving us the best solutions. So I'm going to talk about some of the solutions that I've discovered in the last, say, 10 or 15 years. I think the first time I heard about this was maybe in India, or I don't know. They got the biggest problem on the planet really is single use plastic bags. That means when you go to a supermarket and they give you one thing, like I can buy a pack of gum here and they'll put it in a plastic bag. Everything I buy, they put in a plastic bag. So that is a huge problem. And there's countries like Rwanda, I think in India, and different countries that are making it illegal. I think Canada's trying to make it so that you carry. Walmart is a big one on this. Is Dispensa Familiar. Most of the Central and South American countries, when you go into Walmart, they won't really give you a plastic bag. They'll make you buy one. And this is all they need to do, is make you buy the plastic bag, and that decreases the number of plastic bags by, I don't know, 50%. So you cut it in half if you make them buy the plastic bag. So this should be, in my opinion, inside the United States, a legal requirement that you pay for the bag. Okay, and that's all you got to do to lower the single plastic use. But obesity, you're getting fat because you got plastic, but the way that you are touching plastic is unbelievable. And why this became such a big issue for me was because my father died of prostate cancer. And I reviewed it, and by all practical measures, the Graham family genetically should live to be 100. Okay, we are centenarians. We are people that live to be 100. And my father died at 83. And as far as I can see, what happened was is he had chemicals touching his body, and plastic is a type of chemical. It's made from it's a petroleum product. Okay, but we need to slow down on the single-use plastics. But that's probably not the reason why you are dying from plastic. I mean, other than it's killing turtles and it's going into the thing. I actually made a video or showed a picture of people in Manila walking, walking on plastic bottles because there was like a 6 foot thick layer of plastic that was people could actually walk on. These children were walking on it. That's how much plastic. I mean, there's countries, but the biggest problem you have in the world is human density. So any human density causes problems. But in the simplest of all ways, if you want to slow down on this plastic intake, the smaller the city, any city less than 20,000 people, and you're going to radically decrease the amount of plastic problems. Okay, but drinking water bottles. Don't drink bottles. Don't drink water out of water bottles. Okay, and I have a problem because a lot of times the purified water is in a 5-gallon plastic thing. If in the United States it would be nice. I don't think you really need to drink purified water in the United States. Here in Colombia, they don't really sell much purified water. It seems to be that you can drink it right from the tap, which is very unusual. Ivory Coast is the only other country besides United States, maybe Canada, where I saw this. But here I have a plastic bag holding a plastic cup. But I carry these stackable cups. I have 2 of these, and I always carry 2. But right now I'm carrying a Nescafe bottle, which makes a really good cup. And then I put the lid on there, and then glass, because glass is about the only safe thing to use. Maybe stainless steel. It's hard to say. I don't think copper's safe. So copper pipes and plastic pipes that we have in our houses used to be lead, right? Now we're ahead with plastic. I would say the lesser of 2 evils is probably copper pipe, okay? But hot water and plastic is a major problem, okay? The minute you insert heat, you're causing a problem. So I'm carrying around a little, it's a double dip situation. I double dip my travel stuff. I bought some coffee and I use this as a glass, but I carry the other plastic cups because I have to drink water sometimes, right? And rightly so. Diogenes said, I just realized Diogenes was saying that he learned from a kid that he didn't need a cup because he could just drink with his hands. And maybe I should throw away my cups. Why am I using those cups? Well, I'm using those cups until I can get a bottle. But I'm carrying a bottle right now, so I could stop using the cups and I could drink right from the tap using my hand to drink with. Okay, so I'm going through some ideas, right? And that's why I make these videos, to find the truth as a philosopher. Okay, shower, glass bottles. Glass is okay. You have nylon clothing, which is fast dry. People love it, and it's horrible. Use cotton, okay? Don't anything that you cannot eat. Like you could probably eat cotton, but you couldn't eat your plastic nylon clothing, okay? As a rule of thumb, never put anything on your skin that you cannot eat, okay? Probably one of the things that saved me is I've always been way too cheap to buy pop. In Indiana, we call it pop, or soda, or carbonated drinks and stuff like that. I've never really bought those. I did buy a lot of beer, okay, but I think I always had it in glass containers. So most of the containers that I've ever drank any kind of liquid out of, and I hardly ever have drank bottled water. I mean, I buy so little bottled water, it's ridiculous. I have bought a lot of plastic bags with water, but what is my sin, or what is the problem that I had? I take an immersion heater and I put it into a plastic cup, and I heat it, and it secretes or elicits a little bit of plastic to go in my body and cause it to go into my brain and cause me to have dementia, which I don't have. Okay, I'm 65 plus. But I'm trying to tell you some ideas here. But watch this movie. We're all plastic people. And don't just listen to me. Do a Google alert for microplastics, and you'll see that there's unbelievable. There's supposedly 80,000 man-made chemicals, and this could lead it into forever chemicals. One of the terms that is big is, well, they got an acronym, which I think it's an abbreviation. It's not an acronym. An acronym is a word that you can read out. PFAS. PFAS. I have no idea what it means because they never tell you, right? But forever chemicals, that's what you want to study. Forever chemicals are chemicals that will not, they never go away, okay? So there's chemicals that enter your body. This is why I cut all my hair off, is because I wanted to tell people about my sister's chemo. She had chemo. She's got to take all her blood cells and replace them. I mean, it's a horrible way to kill cancer. In a way, if I had cancer, I wouldn't eat it. It wouldn't be a bit of sugar in my body, and I'd probably try to change my pH in my body, and I would do a whole lot of things, okay? And trying to keep the brain working, right? Okay, but Stephen Gundry, a heart surgeon, made a video about the dishes that we have in our house that you should be throwing away. And he was talking about any kind of plastic dishes, any kind of thing other than really kind of like glass type dishes. So everything in your house should be glass. What he didn't address, and which was kind of interesting, is he didn't address the plastic pipes where the water came from the faucet inside the United States. And it's a tough one. I'm hoping you all have, if you got a really old house, you could have lead in your house, and that's even worse than plastic, right? And then these people probably drunk in the morning. It's Sunday morning, they're drunk. It's 7 o'clock in the morning, and they seem to be singing away. Okay, but bienvenido. Okay, so Stephen Gundry is a big one on this. Really expert, Gundry, Gundry. He's one of the better, more scientific, he explains scientifically different reasons. But forever chemicals, plastic enter your body is a major problem, okay? And you can stop it, okay? We don't want to have hot water piping that's plastic. We want to have copper. And I have no other solution other than to live in a place with a stream behind your house. Permaculture is a new concept where I actually believe drinking out of a river is probably safer than drinking out of the tap in New York City. Any city bigger than, let's say, I don't know, 50,000 people. The bigger the city, the bigger the problem. The megalopolis, I often say the reason why New York City, East Coast, West Coast are so crazy is because they're permeated with the carbon monoxide that's falling on them and they're breathing. Okay, it's a chemical, it's an ocean of chemicals entering through their lungs, which has no defense. Okay, but microwaving things in plastic is a problem. Microwave things in oh, never ending the noise, okay? Okay, Sunday morning, I had to take a break from the bells that were ringing. I mean, they were pretty loud. Okay, so microwaving in plastic is a problem. Any kind of heating of plastic is a problem. Any kind of plastic touching your skin 24 hours a day, like plastic clothing or plastic underwear or anything plastic, it should be cotton. That's the only thing I know safe to put on your clothing. So now most of my clothing is cotton. But these forever chemicals, you should have dishes that are glass, okay? Or maybe there's a porcelain-like material on top of it. And cast iron and aluminum and copper, all these things are a problem, okay? I'm not going to say this is easy, okay? But the small city, to live in a small city, as an adult, you got 2-3 children, move to a city with less than, say, 30,000 people. They're all over in the United States and they're all over the world. And the bigger the city, the bigger the problems. I've been saying this for years. Okay, because there's so much pollution, so much noise pollution, so much confusion, so much thing. The reason why these people are crazy on the East Coast and West Coast is simple. Okay, between the chemicals and the chemicals entering, they're breathing the pollution, the overpopulation. Poverty is human density. Too much human density is the problem. The worst human density I've ever seen is in Manila, Philippines, and that's where I was saying they were literally walking on the ocean, right next to right next to the United States Embassy in Armida, and there's a layer of plastic where they're walking. I would like to go back there and see if it's still there. When I went to Machu Picchu the first time, at the bottom of the hill they had a huge pile of trash. I went back there a few years later, and they removed it. See, normally all the trash goes into the water. The water is where people put the trash. I have no clear reason. But so somebody needs to take this video that I'm going to give you a link and put it on YouTube in 2 or 3 different places so we can find it easy. Put it on Vimeo. It seems to be free, but who knows? The people that produced it seemed a little more intent on winning one of them film things than they did on actually telling. Ted Danzig was talking about the video. I go to the link and I can't get to the video. He has a trailer on this, and I'm proud of him. Good thing, but give us a functional world, right? Where you say, go to this link and watch the video. But PBS is also a business. It's not really just public thing. They want you to donate. So aid organizations is a business. Okay, so copy it to Vimeo, copy it to YouTube, copy it to Rumble, copy it to one of these torrent systems where we can download it and distribute this film. But truly, start focusing on the value of understanding the truth is to go to the solutions, right? So be part of the solution, not part of the problem. This film is telling you the problem. It's not really it's not focused on the solution. Call up your politicians and just write your politicians and call them up and say, hey, I really have a problem with plastics. We ought to make laws to make it more difficult to have plastic. I'm laughing at the plastic gloves. The worst thing that ever happened here in the last few years is the chemicals that people put on their hands for COVID. Absolutely insane to put something that will kill something on your skin 5 times a day. Absolutely insanity. There is nothing stupider I could ever think of than putting some sort of chemical that will kill a bacteria onto my skin. I wore plastic gloves or rubber gloves or whatever. I wonder, there's an interesting thing, the difference between rubber and plastic. Hey, maybe we can all move to rubber stuff. That's a natural product. They have natural rubber, but I think they have man-made rubbers now. But rubber is a possible solution. That's why I do these videos. It's kind of an exploratory thing. I'm Andy Lee Graham, and please watch. We're all plastic people now, but that's part of the problem. Let's move into the solutions. First things first, probably call up your politician. First things first, protect yourself and your family. Move to a smaller city. I mean, Bill O'Reilly was recommending people move away from New York City. That was kind of scary. When Bill O'Reilly recommends that people, he lives in New York City, recommending they move away from New York City because there is no rule of law and the legal system is breaking down. The United States is becoming a developing country or one of the poorer countries, or the negative term third world nation. That's not a positive thing to say. Third world nations is a French term. But he's recommending you move away from New York City, and I recommend anybody with any intelligence move to a smaller place. We're rich enough to be mobile. That's one great benefit of the United States, as you can live anywhere and everywhere. I live anywhere and everywhere. It's actually cheaper to travel the planet than it is to live in the United States. Alcohol is also a problem, right? Watch Jordan Peterson talk about alcohol. I am very lucky to be a recovering alcoholic and been sober for 37 years. I dodged a major bullet by damaging my body when I was younger, and think I might have been smarter before I killed all those brain cells. The way you kill brain cells is it makes alcohol makes it clot in the brain, and what it does is the little capillaries are cut off by oxygen, and that's how you kill brain cells. Okay, I'm here and you're not. Why not? Please distribute this. This movie, again, is We're All Plastic People. The link is in the description. But I can't guarantee it's going to stay there because it's amazing. They will change these links around to make them impossible to do. People are much more interested in being famous than actually having the wisdom to explain the truth. They want to be, without the fame, they won't do this stuff. That's the reason why you need to make it profitable for people to, you got to make it profitable to have a cure for cancer instead of the cure for cancer is not a cure. It's not a cure. They got to make having a vaccine for cancer more valuable. You got to make it more profitable not to use plastic. How do you do this? One of my friends, Walt Werner, he used to say, all you got to do to get rid of the plastic and everything is put 25 cents worth of value in the plastic bottle and everybody will protect it. So you need to make, I don't know. I have no clue where to go. We need to have bottles with 25 cents worth of aluminum in the bottom of the bottle, and so everybody's using them. But then we'd have broken bottles of it. There's no simple solution. I'm going to start drinking water with my hand and not with Diogenes. He's a philosopher, very interesting. He was kind of like, in a way, saying everything that Henry David Thoreau said, but 400 BC or something, the same time as Socrates and Aristotle and stuff. Plato. Okay, I'm here and you're not. Hit that thing. Anybody that wants to hear the truth and have me continue to give the truth, please become a patriot. It also enables you to have communication with me. I'm Andy Lee Graham. I've lived in over 100 plus countries. I sojourned. That's the word, the proper word. I sojourned. I had a temporary stay in 100 plus countries. And I stay usually for about 2 months in each country. And then 25 years I've been doing this. I don't have a home. I'm here and you're not. I'm on the way to the Darien Gap to see to witness what is the truth. There is so little. People are sad. They just are sad because the only way now to have a newspaper, television, or whatever is to lie and make the bigger the lie, the bigger the story. And that is the thing. And this is why it's just becoming a very, it's sad. I'm Andy Lee Graham.